Hello and welcome to this new episode of Open Book Entrepreneur. Today we have Robyn here with us. She's a founder of an interesting marketing agency. So, Robyn, I think it's the best that you introduce yourself to our audience, please.
Absolutely. Thank you for having me, Tony. It's a pleasure to be here. My name is Robyn Lee Miller, and I own Morningbird Media in Springfield, Massachusetts. It's a digital media marketing company that specializes in all of the digital products you can think of, from meta ads to organic social media and website creation and beyond. We primarily help small to medium-sized businesses as well as entrepreneurs, and particularly women entrepreneurs.
Great, yeah. So what actually inspired you to start the marketing agency?
I think it's one of those things that actually fell in my lap. I don't know that I ever was like, I just really want to open up a marketing agency. It's what I'm going to do with my life. It was a culmination of a series of events that unfolded. When I went to college, I love science, and I've always loved arts. I like singing and crafting and theater. That's always been a passion of mine, but I didn't know if I could make a career out of it. So instead, I went to school for science, and I graduated molecular biochem. I was off to be a scientist, but then. It was just an ironic moment where I ended up receiving a job opportunity at a local radio station. And I thought, oh, what a fit for me, right? I could talk to anybody and nobody, and it wouldn't even matter because I just love being on the microphone. So I started in radio, and from there propelled my career into this marketing arena. It was with traditional media. And at the time that I was in radio, that is when all of the social media platforms had become popular. And they said, well, you're the young kid in the office. Here, run our Facebook platform. Okay, I'm really savvy with computers. I'll do it, no problem. So I started operating their Facebook page. And then we grew into this thing called Robin's Reviews. And I would go out and eat foods and like review them and make them a video for their social platforms. And then we would run it on the radio. And like we were just so cool, right? Because we had a video blog, we had a Facebook account, we had the on air, we were the number one station in our market. So like we had a lot going for us. And I truly enjoyed that experience. And from that, it pivoted me more into this digital media avenue that I'm currently in. And I've always loved the evolution of social media. So it gave me enough to stay interested and engaged and wanting more. And it turned my passion into a career. So that's how I accidentally ended up with a marketing agency.
Fantastic story, yeah. So, in terms of the marketing agency, obviously, when we were in the green room, you mentioned like you serve number of different businesses all around the country, all around the US. So, can you tell us a little bit more about that, please?
Absolutely. It has been such an honor to serve various businesses throughout the nation. Truly, we started out in just, I had just had my daughter, so I was a new mom, a new wife, a new homeowner, and I was like, oh, what am I going to do with myself, right? So I ended up leaving a corporate position and decided to grow this business alongside the growth of my daughter. And that's how it has evolved over the years into a full service agency. And we started out doing organic social media efforts, helping everybody get online, get their Facebook account set up, eventually into Instagram. So we were starting to create all these business pages for people. And that's where the storytelling really took off. That's where we wanted to be able to connect businesses in a meaningful way in this online space where if you were to walk into their brick and mortar or their physical location or call them on the phone, it would be a very similar feeling that you would gain by going to their Facebook or Instagram account, right? It was a true representation of their business. And that storytelling was so important to making sure that it was the same feeling that you would get when you walked into their physical store, when you saw them over the counter saying, "Good morning, hello, how are you?" getting that same experience when you just happen to look for their Facebook page or their other social platforms. We wanted to create such an effort of storytelling that it was very true to their brand and it wasn't just this cookie cutter copy, these stock images. Like we wanted to make sure that it was truly what you would see when you went there physically. And that's how we translated that into the online space. So we started with organic social media. And since then, our service portfolio has expanded vastly. Now we're offering custom website creation. We've got our own servers now for our websites. We have Google ad products. We have Meta ad products. We still stick with our roots and doing organic social media, but we offer so much more now as well.
Fantastic. And yeah, so what's one piece of advice you can share with our audience? Because I work with a number of businesses that actually either spend money or wasted money on ads, and stuff. So what's one piece of advice you can share with them?
Sure, sure. I think I'm curious to see if this will be something that in your coaching experience that it might also resonate with you as well. But and I'm guilty of doing this myself, but a piece of advice that I would offer is progress over perfection. We are so eager to create this brand from scratch where really it needs an evolutionary period and you need to trial and error and test to see what works because you might have this vision in your mind but it also may not resonate with the audience that is receiving it. So, how can you test and refine that again and again until you have something that resonates not only with your vision, but also meets the consumer where they're at as well? So, even if you're having a tough time of like, oh, there's like, I don't have time in the day to get out a Facebook post. I'm so busy operating my business or working all the time. I don't have time for this. It it's progress. It's always a work in progress. So it doesn't mean like you need to post 3 times a week. It doesn't mean that you need to post every single day into your stories. What can you do and be consistent at and get towards your perfection? Because unfortunately, I think that um we're all so eager to like get to the finish line, but we don't really give the journey the time that it needs to really percolate and create something that is also in line with the customer that you're trying to serve. So that's what I recommend. I would say that it is very important to progress over perfection. Like just get started. If you can't like just put one thing out and see where it goes.
Very nice, yeah. And then on top of that, like something very interesting that you mentioned there, obviously storytelling in business. Yeah, can you tell us a little bit more about that? Because I'm a true believer that this is so important, and I'm guilty of not really using it all the time for my own business. But I think every time when I actually start talking stories to people about my business, my experiences, and stuff like that, I attract some unbelievable people, clients into my world and stuff. So can you share your experiences on this, please?
Certainly. It's because you've humanized yourself, right? I mean, in both of our industries, there is a saturation of marketers, of coaching, of courses, of things that you can get your hands on to help you either like do it yourself but no matter what, we can provide our authenticity and truth to connect with our potential consumers. It's so meaningful to share your story because you never know who on the other side might relate to you in that way. Especially with this AI boom right now, we're seeing a huge shift in the way that the internet is used and the way that we are going forward with our everyday thinking. Well, I can just chat GPT it. I can just ask for it on Claude. I can look it up on Gemini. And slowly, as much as I am a proponent for these AI services, I think that they bring time back into my life so that I can pursue more. But also, I I would be mindful of the critical thinking that I allow it to do on my behalf because you still want to be able to have those critical thinking skills outside of your access to a computer, unfortunately, yeah. And when it comes back around to that storytelling, where I've gone off on my tangent somewhat, is that you can utilize these programs to help you cultivate copy and ideas and things that you can put out there on your social platforms and in essence save you a lot of time. But simultaneously, you have to be thinking about how that impacts your power of storytelling. The only person that knows your story is you. You are that vessel. So, in order to meet these AI language learning models in the middle, how can you share your story enough so that it either A, mimics your tone and understands your personality somewhat? Like you can create custom GPTs of people's brains at this point, right? You're like, "Oh, I really like the way that this guy is doing this particular protocol. How can I do that in what I'm doing and help facilitate that process?" But at the end of the day, the storytelling, right, it's still coming from you, from your heart center, and nobody knows that information but you right now. So yeah, we don't have AI chips that are recording our memories for us, but I think that that's very important because I think about the various industries that I cover and who I'm writing copy for and how. If I use a couple as an example, like one is a sporting arena, right? And that one has a lot of high action impact, rah rah, whoo, alarms going off, loud noises, like it's very exciting, it's thrilling. So even in the copy and the imagery, right, everything is red and blue and white. Whoo, it's very on fire, like it's very exciting. The copy is like, alert, alert, game tonight, bring your tickets. Like it's all very, very intense, right? Now, I would never use that tone for a nonprofit that I have worked with previously. We've done work with domestic violence awareness agencies that
Hmm.
service our local states here. And now all of a sudden I'm bringing that tone down and it's softer and it's less masculine and it's more feminine and the colors are softer and the triggers are much lower. There's a different calmness about the way I would go about their storytelling versus the sporting arena that's ready to hit pucks around or throw in basketballs or whatever the case. So two very different ways of storytelling. Or we've done a lot of brand personalities to help them like you familiar like NASCAR, right? Like
Mhm.
driving around in the circles, yeah. So we've represented various NASCAR drivers and thinking about how we would want their tone and how we would want them represented on their socials so that they could keep getting sponsorships and how do we facilitate the communication between the sponsorships and we're meeting, like how many posts that we're creating on behalf of the sponsors, how are we putting out that information, how would their tone be, would they be talking about it in first person, in third person, like as an organization, as an individual. So like just thinking about all of those ways to to craft your story is like it's so lucrative and it's so rewarding and it's just like it's such a wonderful way to showcase your business in the social space because they get to know you on a personal level and just making sure that you're creating like these guidelines of how you want to storytell, I think will also help you succeed in the social arena.
Totally. I mean, it's wonderful how you actually explain these different tonalities for different businesses, and I believe that's massively important. And I think our audience can agree. If you agree, drop us a like. And on top of that, if someone wants to actually get in touch with you, learn more about you, Robyn, how they can do that?
Oh, please. I would love to connect. It would be an honor. My website is morningbird.media. That's the URL. And then on all of the socials, we are morningbird.media. And we're located in Springfield, Mass. And we're happy to help service small to medium-sized businesses. Anybody that really needs a digital footprint is who we're happy to help.
Wonderful. Robyn, thank you so much for being a guest today. Thank you for sharing your knowledge, your story, and your tips as well. Thank you all for watching and listening. If you liked it, subscribe as well. And also, if you have any questions for Robyn or me, you can ask them in the comments and in the description. I'll include those couple of links that Robyn mentioned. And yeah, see you all in the next episode. All the best and bye bye.